All right. Happy
Okay.
Friday. Frankie in the house.
What's up, everybody?
So this
Hey,
is
what's up?
practice. No laughing, y'all. This is
Nope,
practice.
we're not gonna laugh. We're just practicing, right? So
Me
me and
and
Fia and
yeah.
we are going to do some fan safety videos together. We're going to collab, Joy Route and Boondocking Diva. So we're
Yes.
testing StreamYard. We haven't purchased StreamYard. We're just using a free version to see if we want to use this. If anybody knows what's the difference between StreamYard or just us using Zoom, if you can put it in the comments, that would be great because we're trying to figure it all out. Okay?
Yes. So we're gonna be
Okay.
listening to this lady's video and we're gonna react to what she says because
Yes.
we're interested in exploring more van life safety, especially for women.
Hmm.
So
We have
we
our
just
own tips as well. But
yeah.
like this lady said in her video, she's not the be all. She said, look at other videos. And we do have some great tips that we're going to share as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not mean to move that around, but okay, you want to play it now, Frankie?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Nice music.
So I've had a lot of requests to do this topic, and I am no expert, but I have learned some things from people who've been doing this for a long, long time. And I would encourage you to go and watch other videos on safety tips and tricks and things like that from others because it's very helpful advice. All I can really do is tell you what I do. So that is what I'm going to offer here, and I hope that it's helpful to you. So I
Okay.
guess the question really is, do you feel safe? Because safety is never a
We feel
guarantee,
safe.
whether you live in a...
Yeah, so Frankie, how do we
Hmm.
feel about that? Do we feel safe when we travel? I mean,
Most of the time, I do. Obviously, I feel safe because when I camp, like the way I camp, sometimes we go to campgrounds, or just speaking
mhm,
for me, I'll go to a campground, or sometimes I'll just park like at a Planet Fitness, or like if it's a 24-hour Planet Fitness. And so because I'm in a mini camper van, I do feel safe because I would never stay at a location where I wasn't feeling the vibe of the location. So yes,
yeah.
for the most part, I would say yes, but there are incidents whenever you want to talk about all the stuff that has happened,
Hmm.
we'll talk about that. What about you, Fia? Do you feel safe?
Yeah, I would say most of the time. Now, first couple of solo trips, since I'm not full time like the wonderful Frankie,
Mhm.
um, the first couple solo trips that I took, I was so nervous. Not really. I don't think I was concerned about safety. I was just like going a long distance by myself. I had never done it, so I had some anxiety going on there. But I think once I stayed overnight the first time, I was like, okay,
I can do this.
the sky didn't fall,
Hmm.
nobody. Yeah, and every once in a while, I thought somebody was messing with my van, but it was just the wind. It was
Yeah.
literally just the wind.
Yeah.
There were a couple times when I thought somebody was jangling my door, but it was probably just the car next to me who was opening their door and the
Okay.
vibration of that. So anyway, yeah, generally
Gives
I
me
feel safe.
anxiety.
Yep.
I do, and I wanted to say something. You said full time. So what I've moved toward with my channel, and not even with my channel, but just with my lifestyle, I came to realize I live mostly full time in a van, a mini camper van. Because right now I'm in my winter room, if y'all can see. I'm in
Hmm.
my winter room. And so usually this is my room. So like if I left for a year and I came back, this would be my room. So I want to say mostly full time in a van. But I'm a nomad for sure, houseless and zip codeless. But I mean safety. Where do you park at, Fia? I know we've traveled together, so we've parked some of the same places. But where do you park if you're by yourself? If you're by yourself, or you're,
Yeah, if I'm by myself, let's say I'm going to a Walmart, the first thing I'm
Mhm.
looking for is a well lit area, but I'm also looking for the semis that are staying overnight because
Mhm.
the more people around, the safer I feel for some
Yeah.
reason. Um,
Also, with the semis around, you kind of know you can camp because if there are no semis, you can. I had a terrible Walmart experience that I'll share when we actually do
yeah.
these safety videos. But for now, and I was really upset with Walmart, but for now, if you see a Walmart and it's like a lot of semi trucks and even you'll see vans, people there, then you'll pretty much know it's okay. I do not ask Walmart for permission. I know Fia a lot of times like to ask for permission. I just read the energy. I know just if we can park there because I know from semi trucks. If semi trucks aren't even resting there, then you obviously can't park there. Walmart is not my favorite choice. It would have to be I'm traveling with a group like we were
Mm.
doing and we parked at a Walmart, or it would have to be really a cold day in hell before I really park at a Walmart. I would
Yeah, me
prefer other
too. I've
options.
changed totally. I
Hmm.
don't do Walmarts anymore actually unless it's an emergency.
Hmm.
And that's what I mean by the way you start out in this van life
Hmm.
journey, you're going to evolve over time. So, for
You do.
example, Frankie said I like to ask for permission. Well, yeah, generally in the beginning, absolutely. Now I'm like, no, I ain't asking.
Exactly.
But the
Exactly.
one time I didn't ask is the very time I stayed at Bucky's
What's a Bucky's?
during
Bucky's, yeah, they usually don't let. I did
yeah.
ask at Bucky's. Only
But
reason why.
In Arizona, they let me stay. So in Florida
Okay.
during the Daytona Bike Week,
Hmm.
tried to stay at Bucky's with a girlfriend,
And they was like,
and
no, no, no.
didn't ask. But 4 o'clock in the morning, I got my first knock on the door ever,
Okay.
and I was like, it
It's
figures.
Yeah, I've had plenty of knocks. And when I was in Las Vegas, traveling my 10-month road trip, so I would park at casinos. And when I started out with my 10-month road trip, I was with a friend. And so she would use that app. I forget, iOverlander or something. And so she would
Hmm.
find places like casinos that we could park. And a lot of casinos in Arizona or before we got to Vegas, you could camp for 7 days. Like for instance, you go in there, you have to get a pass. Like I camped at this casino called Morango Casino. I loved
Hmm.
Morango. It's near Joshua Tree. And
Hmm.
when I camped there, they actually gave me a 7 day pass and I parked with RVs, big vans. Here I was in my mini camper van. And I was like, can I use? It was like, sure. So it was great because I was going to the casino because you could eat at the casino. They had like a live band and stuff. They had a store. They had a place where you could walk. And I felt so comfortable. But some casinos, like in Las Vegas, I got so many knocks in Las Vegas. I was sick of Las Vegas. I was so sick because I got a
Now,
lot of knocks.
were they knocks from people just knocking randomly,
No,
or
no, no, no. It was security guards because
okay?
yeah, it was security guards because, like, I noticed too, some casinos and places they'll let you stay if they see like you have a different tag or something. They might
Hmm.
let you stay one night, but if you do 2 nights, they're like, And I've had that happen before too. But in Vegas, it was just that it was casinos, and I thought, well, it's well lit. I went in there and I spent my money, so and they were. I've had knocks with by security guards. Yeah. And I'll even show one time I argued with a security guard, but I'll tell you why. I don't just in general, I don't
Yeah,
want to be
Frankie's got
disagreeable.
stories for days, y'all. We're
Yeah,
gonna be
we got
sharing
stories,
a lot of
baby.
that.
Oh, let me tell you, yeah. But overall, like I said, I trust my gut. If all when I'm traveling, I always try to go to a pilot or Loves, but I really like pilots. I like staying overnight at pilots and I feel safe. Some pilots are kind of sketchy, but if they are, then I won't stay at them. I like the pilots that are really big, really open to
Mhm.
people camping or staying overnight. I love those. They're really clean. You can go in there clean, shower, which I didn't never take a shower there. I think you did, Fia. Did you one time?
I was at was it a pilot? I think it was. What was the other one?
I love
Loves.
Lowe's,
Yeah, it was
loves.
Loves in Nevada.
Okay.
Um, Not Nevada. Shoot,
Mm.
where's the casinos? Is that Nevada?
Everywhere but Las Vegas. It could
Las
be
Vegas. Yes, it was Las
yeah.
Vegas.
Hmm.
Yeah, Loves, and it was a really
Okay.
nice Loves. But then the
Okay.
showers were just like, the locks didn't work. I had to put a
Okay.
toothbrush. That was.
I
Yeah,
know, I
we gotta share
know.
that too.
Yeah, that's the only thing about these public. Sometimes, I had been doing Planet Fitness all on my 10-month road trip. I was doing Planet Fitness, but sometimes I would stay at a campground. So obviously, I would shower at the campground. But Planet Fitness, for the first time, I think I've had my membership for 10 years since
Hmm.
I went in there. You had to go to your home Planet Fitness, and I turned in my letter. So I don't no longer have a Planet
Yeah.
Fitness membership because I was
Oh,
just like,
sorry, Planet Fitness.
it's not that I don't like Planet Fitness or whatever. Okay, so I'm a nature person. I like to be outdoors, and every place that I stayed, it was like it was San Diego or Las Vegas or Phoenix, Arizona. And so it was so warm that I exercise outside. Like I walk outside. So for me, I never used any of their equipment. I might pull the rope or something. Now I did shower. I love them for shower. I even dyed my hair, which I only have like little grays up here. But yeah, so I really love them for that. But then I just all the other stuff, the loud music, it just that
Hmm.
loud. It has so much, I just couldn't take it. It's not like a vibe for me. It's just not a
Yeah.
vibe. And so I don't like that. And so that's why I just let it go. So what am I going to do when I get back on the road? You can always pay for showers, as Phil was saying, like at Love's or
And let me
not.
just interject there,
Okay,
Frankie. The that was my first shower, but it didn't make me. I think I was nervous about taking my first shower in some other
okay.
place besides Planet Fitness, but it was the fact that the guy who was
Mm.
where you go to pay for the showers,
Uh huh.
he gave free showers to all three of us, the ladies
Oh,
that I was
okay.
with, and that's
Maybe
what
he
made
broke
me
the locks.
nervous. That made me nervous because I was
Okay,
like, why
I see what you're saying.
are you giving females free showers? Like my
Okay,
head, maybe I'm just too suspicious.
a
But
peek.
then
He
I
want to
got
give
in
you
the
a
bathroom
peek.
and the lock didn't work, and I went to him to fix the lock, and he
Mm-hmm.
didn't fix it.
Mm. So
So
maybe that's his thing. So I see why
use
you were
your
afraid.
intuition. Use your
Okay.
intuition. Yeah.
You also can go to like YMCA's and stuff and get a day
Hmm.
pass. And you can go in like state parks and get a day pass. Not that they have showers, but camping, what I found camping across, I would say, not America, but from the Midwest to the Wild West is what I'll call it. And the Wild West being Phoenix and Las Vegas, even though I wasn't in Las Vegas, Nevada, but I don't know where I was at. I can't remember. And then I was in California. So
Hmm.
from going there that way, I always like I said, public showers. But moving forward, what I found is campgrounds are really affordable. And they don't, you would think that the farther out you got, they would be more expensive. But I didn't find that to be the case. Not with the ones that I went to that were decent, nice, whatever you want to call it. And
Yeah.
sometimes, even no matter what state I'm in, I'm usually camping with somebody because I have friends in every state or I meet people. And
Hmm.
so we split the cost, and so it's just not a big cost. That's one of the things I love campfires. I love knowing that I can plug in or just be free. Not that you can't be free at Planet Fitness or anything, but I love if I want to get out the car or get out the van. I look crazy. Oh, it's big. But anyway,
No,
I
you're
love if
fine.
I.
You're
Oh,
fine.
okay. All right. I'm like, I love if I want to get out, get get out of my car, get out of the, um, you know, I want to be free. I want to
Hmm.
be free. So I like that. So that's what I like about campgrounds. You have the freedom to like cook. I have a butane stove. I would never use it in my van, but I'll get out on a campground and I will use my butane stove and do some things that I want to do. I ate myself across America or
Hmm.
across the Midwest to the Wild West, and it was just like not good. Like just eat out, eat. And so, although I did have a lot of like fruits and vegetables that were just you could just eat them raw or whatever, but as far as like my main meal, I did a lot of eating out, and so that's something I do not plan to do when I get back on the road.
So
Not
Miss
eat.
Miss Lady Bug Out, do we want to
Mm-hmm.
listen a little bit more
Yeah, sure.
to what she has to say? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
$1 million home in a gated community or in a tiny little van in the middle of nowhere. And I decided long ago that I wasn't going to let fear control me. So that is really my starting point for this. My mom has a plaque that says, "Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway." And I
I like that.
I like that quote as well. Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway. But
Mm.
again, when you're on a road, and especially if you are alone, you don't choose places. At least I don't. That I don't feel safe. When I was
Mhm.
in, I think it was in Newport Beach. I don't know. I met some friends, and so they said, "Let's camp at this place called the Dirty." And I'm like, "What is the Dirty?" Well, anyway, it was like near a beach, but it was like this lot, and it was like other vans and RVs, and it was two. I met two people, and they were women, and I felt totally
Mhm.
safe.
Yeah.
And we camped there for a few days, and they took a shower in the ocean. I was like,
Oh,
hell no.
okay. In front of
Yeah,
everybody
I was
naked? They were
like,
naked?
no, with clothes and stuff, but that's how they got
Oh,
cleaned up.
oh,
And I
okay.
would have to leave and go get, do my shower. But they did
Okay.
it. But they was like, it was a vibe. It was such a vibe, though. I'm telling you, it was
Yeah.
just so cool. And I felt safe. I never knew I didn't know these people. They invited me to this fire drum dance. And I was like, I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna go. So that's courage, right? Because I was like, I'm
Oh,
gonna go,
yeah.
I'll go. Then they were like, you can spend the night as a dirty. And think about that. Some call the dirty, you know.
Right.
And but it was I felt
And
with the
that's
two
what I mean by
bands.
trust your intuition, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we've been programmed to think,
Mm-hmm.
negative about stuff that's really just an adventure. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
bad or
yeah,
necessarily good. It's just an adventure. And it's
yes,
okay to feel the
yeah.
fear and try it anyway, especially if your
Mm-hmm.
intuition is like you're at peace about it.
Yeah, if you're at peace, because
That's,
you'll
that's
know if you're not at peace.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've learned about traveling by myself is,
Mm-hmm.
we're all old enough to have learned a lot, but traveling especially taught me to trust my intuition, my gut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care if it's
That's
not
important.
popular. I don't
Yes.
care if it's, not making
Yeah.
somebody comfortable. I
Mm-hmm.
generally trust my gut. And then every once in a while I won't, and I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, "See, this is what I'm talking about right here."
I know. We would leave with sometimes with Fia. We would be at a location and Fia was like, I want to leave. And so for me, I never care. Like if somebody we just leaving. I don't even have no choice. I will say I parked at a couple of Cracker Barrels and it was too dark for me. I was scared. Even
Yeah.
though that you had permission to park, it was too dark and it was like one other RV. Every time I went, it was like one other van. I'm like, why can't it be like five vans or and so
Mhm.
Cracker Barrel, they are welcoming to you camping, but it's too dark.
Right.
It's too
Right.
dark. It's too
You
dark.
need to
So
watch, yeah. And it's funny because I got so comfortable with Cracker Barrel that I was like, I'm gonna stay no matter what, and I had to
was it dark?
accept
Were you the only
it
van?
was. It was, yeah, it was dark and there were no
It's
semis and there was nobody there, and I was like, wait
hell
a minute,
no.
no, goes against my whole intuition thing. We're not staying if we don't feel comfortable just because it's Cracker
Mm-mm.
Barrel
Yeah,
and they welcome people. I love
yeah,
them, but you gotta
yeah,
scope out the place first, drive
yeah.
around, see what it
Mm-hmm.
looks like. Is it too dark?
It was too dark. Yeah, and
Sometimes
find
there's
other
people
places.
hanging out near the trash that you
Mm-hmm.
might not want to sleep next to.
Yeah, I found that we slept at the first time we camped out. It was at a hotel. I was with you, and so you
Mhm.
remember that hotel we camped out at? We stayed there a couple of days too. Do you remember? I don't even know
I'm
where we
trying
were
to
at
I'm trying to remember the name.
because you said I was scared to do hotels. Like I was scared to park at hotels, but they were building something. Remember a part of the hotel was closed. I don't know, but we
So
stayed there.
was this the same year we went
It
to
was your birthday because
Stone
it was
Mountain?
your
Oh, we were
huh?
in Indiana.
Okay, we were in there. Okay, and
I
so we
guess we were
stayed
in
there. Hmm I usually now with hotels, they're not my preferred choice, but I will stay at a hotel. And I think I get away with a
definitely.
lot more because I am in a mini camper van. And so I just lay low. But I really don't like that feeling of having to lay low. That's why I like campgrounds because I like to let it all hang out. I like to like be free. I don't like to feel
Yeah.
like I got to
Yeah.
lay low and just get it,
Oh,
hell no, I don't like
yeah.
that feeling at all.
You
So
just reminded me before I forget. I just found
mhm.
out that this is a total sideline note. I
What?
found out that Adventure Bandits does sell day passes. So we'll talk about that
Okay.
after we get
Good.
out.
Okay, cool.
Get
That's
off the
cool because
phone.
we got some travel coming up.
Yep.
You all. We got some
Yeah.
travel coming up. So we'll be
Yes.
talking about that, I guess, in another video. But I'm glad they do sell day passes but like I said, I have a friend who said pull up, but I wouldn't do it without you. So if you're not in there, we just will have to camp somewhere else and then we'll just like get a day pass or something like that. Or if I already have a pass because she can have a person there, but I'll still just camp with you, just wherever
We'll
we go.
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll
Hmm.
figure it out. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be
Well,
fun
it's
too. That's
been
gonna be off
19
the chart.
minutes, girl. I think
We
we're
did
doing
it.
good.
I
I think
think
we're
so
doing good.
too.
What do you want to
We're
do? You want to keep
practicing,
going?
everybody. So let us know in the comments I know I'm like moving and twitching and everything. Let us know in the
Me
comments
too.
what we can do to improve. What we can do is to sound good. Um, do we look clear? Like is our background, or do I need to put on a light or something? Just let us know because that would be helpful. I'm not nervous like being on camera, but I do want to make sure. And then of course I just got here I look a mess, but I'm not nervous being on camera. I'm just nervous. Make sure the lighting is good. Make sure you can hear me, and let us know in the comments. And so yeah, and then we're gonna do a practice. I don't know if we're gonna do it today. We're gonna do a practice on my
This is
stream.
total impromptu.
It's so impromptu, so impromptu. I know I've been MIA. Anytime, just for some of the people that might be listening that know us both from our travel group, I've been MIA. Well, I've been MIA working on a big project, and so I like to get my projects done. And so when I get ready to travel, and even though in the group we do, Pomodoro, so we are able to get work done. But I just kind of been missing in action. But I'm so looking forward to going back to our group. What about you?
I haven't been in a while, and I need
What I
to
mean, you want to go
make
back?
it practice.
Okay.
I do because
Okay.
it's so the pomodoros really
Method
help
works.
with
It does.
productivity. If you got to
It
get
does.
something done, and there's let me just share just
Okay.
to Frankie's point. Um, when you are trying to get something done and you set a timer, your
Mhm.
brain knows that a timer is on.
Mhm.
I just went through this because I was studying for an exam. But when
Mhm.
you have a timer on, and the
Me too.
pomodoros work like that, where the leader of the pomodoros, she sets a timer. Your brain knows that timer is there, and
Mhm.
you work more productively
You
because
do.
you
You
know there's a
do.
limited amount of time, and
It,
it's funny how that
I
works. So
agree. I agree how that works because if I'm working on a writing project, I'll just write forever. And the longer you write, it doesn't get better. It gets worse
hmm
because you're
hmm
fatigued, and so you need to stop and have breaks. So that method does work. For me, definitely. And I'm gonna go back on Saturdays, but coming up on Saturdays, I've got some we doing this well anyway, I ain't gonna talk about it right now, but
oh, you
but
know
I'm
what,
planning.
Frankie, we could go
But
live during some of the pomodoros.
oh yeah, we could do that. That's
Yeah, in
right. We could do
between,
that.
like take a
We could do
break,
that.
like
We could
15
do that.
minutes or
Yeah.
25 minutes, I think they
Yeah.
last.
I
And
don't
then we
think
can,
but see, I don't think Dr. J would want a
oh,
couple of them wouldn't want to probably because they don't want to be on YouTube or social
oh, no,
media.
no, 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 no. I'm saying stop the stream and restart.
What do you mean?
Like okay, so we're live now, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
If Dr. J um turned the timer and said it's time to come back, we'll know through our phones, number one.
Okay, so
And then
we
what we
just
do is
okay,
we turn this live
okay.
stream off.
But this would be separate. Me and you would be on live stream and on her Zoom.
Yeah,
Is that
we
how? Okay,
on the
okay.
phone, we would be on the Zoom,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. All
But
right.
on the
Okay.
computer, if you got your computer with you, then we can do a separate stream in
That,
between and just pause it and say,
that
y'all,
works.
we'll be back.
That works. That
We'll
works a
be
lot.
back in 5 minutes or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That works. We are tell them about what we got coming up, Fia.
So we got a lot of good topics. I can't remember all of them right off the top of my head, but we really want to invest in the van life community for women, especially women who travel by themselves. Even if you're not full time, we're interested in sharing our stories, but also pulling up, like this lady bug out. Like there's lots of tips out there already, and we're just going to provide commentary on some of the videos we think are interesting, but also share some of our stories in between.
Like what we have in our vans, like what we travel with.
hmm
Like,
hmm
you might travel with something or like we kind of discussed today where we park, but there are so many things to van safety, even just being at a restaurant and telling somebody, "Oh, I'm not from here," because Phil tell you I talk a
Oh
lot.
yeah, yeah.
We got so much. It's so many tips
I had
that
to
you
learn
don't
that too because my
mhm,
husband's like TMI, TMI.
don't
You give it
come in. You better be on camera.
but
You on
also,
YouTube.
it's something as
You brought
simple
my
as
ice cream. He's my cousin.
hi
I'm baby
cousin,
from the stream.
nice to meet you.
Hello,
Hi
hello. She wants
beautiful.
ice cream. I'm eating my ice
So
cream for lunch. It's just
you
crazy.
got ice cream for lunch? I'm
No,
jealous.
no, I have my food is downstairs,
Oh,
but,
okay.
but this is
What kind
an
of
ice
ice cream
cream
you
that
got? Go on and show us
it's
what you
like
got, Frankie.
it's a Sunday cone, a vanilla Sunday cone, which is
Okay, okay.
yeah, I can't wait to eat. I like my ice cream a little
Hey,
soft.
go ahead. You wanna stop the stream so you can eat?
No, because I like my ice cream. We got a few more minutes. I like
Oh,
my
you
ice
want it
cream
soft?
a little bit
Okay.
soft. What we might do
And you
too,
know
and
we
I
might
don't
delete this. You know we might
we shouldn't
delete
delete
this.
it. We shouldn't delete it. You can unlist it and think about it. But
Yeah.
I think we should go live on my channel as well. I thought there
Yeah.
was a way to dual to go live on both, and
We
I
need
think
to,
there
you know what, we
is.
need to test that out next because I
Yeah,
would like
we'll
to do
test it
that
out.
so we both can go
Okay.
live. Yeah,
On
I
our
agree.
channels or
I
whatever.
agree.
Yeah. So we just and I just an impromptu live just to do some safety stuff. And we got some other topics coming up. We will be traveling together
Yep. May or
sometime
June.
this summer. Yeah, May or June.
Mhm.
And so we will share that, but not in those videos. I don't know if we share whatever. We
We
plan
might.
out this
I mean, because I gotta drive. What it takes about
18, 19 hours.
18 hours to get to Ohio. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll be sharing. Maybe we'll do some lives while I'm on the road, and I can
Okay,
share,
yeah.
some of the stuff I run into or whatever.
Okay.
To your
Okay.
point about safety tips, I was gonna say something as simple as going to Walmart and buying or Target or
Mm-hmm.
Target and buying
Crochet.
a ball a softball cap.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a softball cap that looks like
Oh
a man
yeah.
would wear it and put that in your windshield. I leave
Yes.
mine. It's a blue one. I'm from
Okay.
Indiana, so I got one that says IU
Okay.
uh,
Indiana State
college,
University.
but the
Okay.
football, basketball, whatever. Put it in the windshield.
Okay.
Make
That's a
sure
good
it's
tip.
visible. It's really visible because it makes you think, okay, she's
Okay.
driving. But there's probably somebody in the back that's a male.
Yes, that's a
And
great tip.
sometimes I'll bring my husband's boots with me.
Mhm. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yep, I'll sit them outside or near the door, and people will be thinking, "Oh, who you here with?"
Yeah,
But
I've
yeah,
never done the boot thing, but I've had heard of the boot thing. So, but I've never done that. But that's a good idea. Especially, I like the cap too because the boots is like you got to sit them out, and I
right,
like the
right.
cap
Cat,
idea.
you
I
don't have to
really.
do nothing.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. It seems easier. So I really like the cap idea. That's a good thing because people think you just travel and it's just, and it is mostly peaches and cream. It's mostly a fun experience, but there are times, there are
Yeah,
times, and it's not fun, as we said, to get the knock. I've gotten a lot of knocks. She's only gotten one. I
yeah.
don't be, I'll be like,
I
okay.
will say that most people are. I've learned this, and
Hmm.
maybe I'm self conscious or whatever, but I think a lot of travelers start out being self conscious because they
Hmm.
think everybody's watching
Yeah, ain't
and
nobody
looking
like,
at you. Ain't nobody paying
yeah.
attention to you.
They're not. They do have cameras,
They
and
really
sometimes
don't
they just
care.
don't care. Like
Yeah,
places they don't care.
they
And
got
then
their
even if you
own
get a
issue.
knock, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Even if you get a knock, the person who knocks is usually a security guard, and they don't. Except one, I had one in Vegas who was he was such an a-hole. But usually the ones that knock, they're just like, "Hey, you got to leave," or they'll say, "You can leave in the morning." Just what are you doing? I say, "I'm just resting." They say, "Okay, fine, leave in the morning." You know what? So even if you
Yeah.
get a knock, the person who knocks, it's not going to be mean. To at least that's been my experience. They
Mhm.
are not
Mhm.
mean. So at least if you get a
Cool.
knock, you don't have to be like worried about it.
Yeah, I think it's the startling. It's like, what time did you get the knock? Because get a knock at
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning when you're in a deep sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's
You be
traumatic.
mad. I know.
That
I
can be
remember
traumatic.
one time. I know I was at Walmart and I had camped there a couple of days, and then I got it. But see, like I said, I think they let you. They'll let you if you're overnight and they thinking you just gonna do a night or two. You passing through town. Sometimes a
Mhm.
Walmart that looks well lit will let you. But then the second day I got a knock. But then the security guard, he was like, "But you can go," and he told me somewhere to go. I can't remember where it was at, but he gave me somewhere to go. So usually they're not mean, and that's a good thing. Usually, I did
Yeah.
have. We'll tell the story, but and that's why Walmart will forever be on my list. But other
Only in
than that,
emergencies. So
yes,
how's
on
that
in
ice cream doing,
emergency.
Frankie? How's that ice cream doing?
Let's see.
Is it melted?
Let me see. I'm not
We're
gonna eat
gonna
on
shut it
camera
off
because
so
I don't eat
Frankie
on
can
camera.
eat her ice cream. And then
Yes, I'm
you know
not.
what? Let's
No,
listen. Why don't you go ahead and eat a little bit, and we're gonna listen to
I'm not gonna
Lady
eat on no
Frankie.
camera.
Girl, go on and
I will
have
take
that ice
you.
cream. Oh, that look good.
Really
That
look
look
good.
good. Is that
I'm gonna eat it.
that's a drumstick?
Yes, a drumstick.
Oh, I'm
And my
jealous.
lunch is
I got see,
downstairs.
now I gotta go get me
Mm,
some.
I really like
mm.
that. I like it because I'm not sure if you can get rid of anxiety and fear entirely. And I'm not sure that you will never be afraid. But once you decide that even if you're a little scared, you're going to go ahead and do it anyway,
Do it
there
anyway.
are some tips to help you kind of minimize the risks that are associated with this type of lifestyle. Number one, trust your gut. I am a
Oh
firm
yes.
believer that
Mhm.
we
Yes.
are given a sixth sense that helps us to know or be alert when there is any kind of potential danger nearby. So that is number one. Just when you're in an environment, try to be aware and alert. And if you have little hairs sticking up on the back of your neck, it's probably time to get out of there. Number two, try to get to an area before dark, especially when you're going to a dispersed campground. It can be a little scary if you're driving it at night and all you've got is your headlights to tell you what is around you. I try to get there a little bit ahead of time so that I can scope out the area and see what I'm getting into. I also like to look for other potential campers nearby in the vicinity because I feel safer if I just know that there is someone there. And in my experience, when I have been doing that, I have people all the time that go, "Hey, are you alone? You want to camp with us?" So that has.
Now that I don't do.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Everything she said up to that point is good.
Yeah, she was giving good advice. But one of the tips she gave is what I do. I will get to an area like when I was traveling in the summer, or not the summer, but when it got darker earlier. I would stop driving like at 4, and everybody's like, "What? No," and I would go to, even if I was going to a pilot or wherever I was going, I wanted to make sure it was a pilot I felt comfortable at, or that you could spend the night. And if not, I wanted to move on. But I never try never to let it get dark at all. Now, I got to tell you about the beach. You know, I camped on the beach, right? And you weren't supposed to do that.
Was that in Las Vegas?
We'll talk about that, huh?
Was that in Las Vegas?
It was in San Diego.
San Diego, right? That's where the water in the mountains.
With a stranger.
Yeah,
I did that. I camped with a stranger.
Yeah, we got to hear that story next time for real. Because I love camping on the beach, but I want to hear. I want to hear what's up.
But you got to be careful, and it's not allowed. So.
Okay.
But we didn't get a knock. Yeah. So we'll talk about it next time. But yeah, and then dispersed camping, we did that in Arizona. But in BLM land, I thought I wouldn't like BLM land. I thought it was going to be. So for anybody who don't know, it's Bureau of Land Management, and it's like land that's in Arizona, some parts of California, and Nevada, that you can camp at no cost. It's called dispersed camping. And but for me, I don't like that. But so when I did it, we were in Arizona. We were in some part of Arizona, but I was with like 7 women, and then we felt so comfortable that, and it felt like we were on a ranch. Like the main person that told us to come there, it felt like we were going to her ranch. I'm serious. It was like our vans. Everybody's. We just had. It was such a. For most of the part of it, it was a vibe. So that's the only way I would ever go on. I even thought about it. Now, tell me what you think about this: a meetup on dispersed land.
A meetup,
not like a adventure bandit meetup, but like maybe 7 of our travel friends that we've traveled with in the past.
That would be fun.
That'd be fun. We just camp for free.
Yeah.
But in a BLM land, you got to have everything you need because it's BLM land. So.
And that's what boondocking is. Boondocking in general, it means you are self-sufficient enough for at least a few days to stay and camp, and you got your toilet, you got your water, you got your food, you got your bed, you got everything, electricity.
Yeah.
And your Wi-Fi and all that good stuff might not be as
you're not gonna have no Wi-Fi.
Right.
Forget about it. But then think about it too. You're taking a break. We were walking through nature. We bought wood, but we also gathered some little wood, and it just was an experience. We talked. I mean, something happened, but I ain't going to bring that up as a negative. But the most part, for 90% of it, it was like so beautiful. We just talked, we laughed, we had a bottle of wine. Somebody even went live, so we just had a really good time. And you can drive into town if you like working, or you need to check emails or work on something. You can drive into town. But for me, I try to have everything that I needed to do completed so I can have 2 or 3 days of just fun. And that's what we did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we did. So it's really nice.
Yeah, she gave some pretty good tips so far.
She had
that both me and Frankie could relate to. But that part about just strangers saying, "Hey, come camp with us." It takes me a minute to warm up, y'all.
I know it does take you a minute.
I'm like an ambivert, so I like my private time, but I also like hanging out with people and riding
Yeah.
motorcycles and doing adventurous stuff. But when it's time to like be to myself, I'm to myself. So ambivert
But
means I can
that's
be
how we can't
extrovert or
though.
introvert. Yeah,
I'm an
yeah.
introvert. People don't think that.
And and
They
so
think
as an
introvert means shy.
yeah, no, and I think as an introvert, you might be more cautious.
Hmm.
The introverted side
No,
of you is more
I think
my introverted side is more cautious than my
mine is.
extroverted
Well,
side.
I would say mine. As a person, I'm just totally aware, like you are. But as an
Mhm.
introvert, it just means, and what I do like about camping with people, it just means that we can't, like, say all day I'm by myself. I'm just in my van
Yeah.
chilling, or I'm just
Yeah.
doing my own stuff. Then I can come together at the campfire. But if I had talked to everybody all day, I would be burnt out on talking to people, hanging out with people, and things like that. So for me, it's just like people think, they assume because I talk a lot, that
Yeah.
I always want to be, and I don't. I run out of fuel. It's like a gas tank, and it's like, and I'm like done. Sometimes I'm done for 2 or 3 days. I just
Mhm.
can't talk. I'm
Mhm.
just working. I'm just
Yeah.
working because I'm just. So that's what it is with me. But I am social. I can be social.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Hmm.
let's hear what she's saying about this whole,
Okay.
random camper saying, "Hey, come camp
Okay.
with us."
Okay.
Um,
Has been a really good experience for me, especially when I want to not be alone or I'm in an unfamiliar area. It's always nice to kind of have people around. One exception to that is if I'm traveling a long distance and I know that I'm just going to be pulling over somewhere for the evening, I try to get there when it's turning dark or just a little before dark so that I can, if I'm at like a Walmart, I can go in.
yeah, this is a really good idea. She said that twice. The fact that when you get to a place and you're traveling,
Uh
you
huh.
always, always, always want to get there early enough to
Yes.
scope out the place.
Yes.
And
You
if there's
definitely want to
nobody
get there.
around, and it's dusk
Hmm.
already, then you should consider going somewhere else.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
should leave.
sometimes
Go
sometimes
ahead.
people will show up after you show up, but I don't take that chance. I
Yeah.
usually, yeah. If I don't see
Excuse me. I
nobody, I'm
usually leave as well. To her point, she says sometimes she'll camp with people. When I told you about camping at the Dirty, I camped with
mm-hmm,
people. I met these two women. They invited me to this like drum fest or whatever, and it was a vibe.
mm-hmm,
The drum fest was really nice, and so I felt like it was two of them. They weren't together. They had their own vans, but
mm-hmm.
I felt safe. So I just met them like that day, and I was like, okay. And I camped with them a
Yeah.
few days. It was a good vibe. Nobody did anything. I really just used my gut. I trust my gut, and they seemed real cool, and
Mhm.
we just hung out. So
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
no problem. So sometimes I will just meet a person, male or
Right.
female,
Right.
and just hang out. Sometimes, yeah.
Now, if I'm in a parking lot, though, I'm not as open to that. If I'm just in a parking lot, like if I'm parking at Cracker Barrel, I'm not open to it. If I'm at a
No, I
hotel,
ain't either.
I'm not open to that. But
Mm-mm,
if I'm at a
mm-mm,
campground or a park,
mm-mm,
yeah,
mm-mm,
I
mm-hmm.
assume other campers are there, and I'm
Yeah.
more open to taking a walk and saying hi and whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, all
Yeah.
right,
And if I'm
let's see
with
what's
somebody,
next.
yeah, it's all good.
Maybe and buy something. Or if I'm at a rest area or a truck stop, I usually just want to kind of stay inside, crawl in back, and go to sleep. So I usually wait until evening to do that.
Yes. So if you get somewhere late and it's
Mm-hmm.
dark, I just as a best practice, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. I don't eat where I sleep.
Okay, you don't
So
go in. I do.
if I'm going to get some food, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to get it at a different place than where I'm going to park and sleep because when I park, I don't want anybody knowing that I'm the only one in my van.
But you know what? Now, for me, if I'm at a pilot and it's a clean pilot and I trust
Mhm.
it, because I just like it's using my gut. If I don't have any food, I'm going in there and get me a Diet Coke. Just whatever I want. So I do, and that maybe not because, but it's only because I see other vans, and when I see other vans, like if I see, I've been at pilots and I've seen like older looking. I ain't knocking nothing. I have a mini camper van, but I've seen like
Mhm.
older looking vans or car, people. And then no, but if I see like newer vans and families traveling, I feel
Mhm.
safe, and I see other people camping there, then I'll go in there and get me something to eat. I just do, but I get it. I
Yeah.
get why you wouldn't though. Hmm.
I don't know if I think my Wi-Fi is fine, but we're gonna see what she has to say.
Okay.
Let's keep going. I think we're gonna stop at It's almost 40 minutes, Frankie.
Okay, we'll stop when you want. 40? Okay.
Yeah, we'll stop at 40 minutes, and
Okay.
literally it's like 10 seconds. So let's
Okay.
go ahead and sign out
Okay.
or sign off and
It's
say
been
thank you,
real.
everybody. I
Take care.
know we were probably the only ones here, but that's okay.
No,
We're
we're
practicing.
not. People, people are going to watch it afterwards. That's why I told somebody else. I said she had a live stream and she was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Just start talking.
Yeah.
Just start talking
Frankie's
because people."
always the one. Frankie's always the
Mhm.
one that inspires me to go live when I don't feel like going live.
Like, yeah, go live. Just start talking. If it's one person there, people will watch it after the fact, and if you
Yeah.
engage them, it'll go towards your minutes. Like even this being monetized for anybody that don't know, we know. Just doing these live streams. When you do your
Yeah.
entire live stream, that's really good timing because a video might be 8 minutes, but
Yeah.
this is 40 minutes, so that's good on your timing too. You know.
So we're gonna pick up where we left off next
Yeah.
time. But this is practice for our upcoming series, which is
Mm-hmm.
called Van. And actually, we're gonna put that in the title next time.
Mm-hmm.
It's Women's Safety. No, Van Life.
You got the notes.
Van Life Safety for Women.
Yes, that's what it's going to be. Van life safety for women.
All right, y'all.
So
We signing off.
stay
Have a
on
happy
this stuff. Yeah,
Friday.
we're staying on, and then we're going to for a minute. Stay on for a minute.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Let me end the
Hang up
stream
or whatever
and
you
then we'll
call it.
keep.
Mm-hmm.